Georgina and I thought for the last part of the day here, we knew that watching the videos, the public awareness campaign, and the 2.5 days you've already had with us, it'd already be a full segment, full agenda, and we thought at the end, why don't we just open it up and have a conversation together as a group. We knew a lot of folks would be heading out to catch flights. We knew that the group would probably be a little smaller, so it'd probably allow us to do this. We've titled it kind of what we've learned, but we really thought it'd just be great to have a conversation about, what do you take away from this convening? What do you take back home to your communities as things that you might say, after being here, I have now in mind a next step that we need to do back when we get home. And also more broadly, for a lot of the cities that have been with us since we launched the National Forum on Defending Childhood and our community-based violence prevention work as late as 2010, we'd love to get your thoughts about what has this all meant for you all? What have you all learned as a result of our coming together, as our partnership has grown? Georgina and I know that this is a special moment for us because we know as political appointees, we serve at the pleasure of this incredible president. So we know that as his administration winds down, this is our last chance to talk with you, hear from you. But this is not the last time for this summit.
Theron, can you stress that again? This is not the last time.
So I know a lot of people thought about when I said last that this was the last summit. But as I understand, our work is not finished. I know that there's still more that we have to do in our communities, and we have not ended youth violence yet. And so we still plan to meet, and we have a number of federal staff here in the room that are committed to that, and all the agencies that you saw represented across the 2.5 days. So let me assure you, this convening, this gathering, this support, we are doing all that we can before we wind down to make sure that that's fully supported and that continues. So we were trying to say that for us it's bittersweet because we know that this will be our last time. Many of you have just been friends and family for us. We've called you partners and the like just because we've grown so close. We knew that would be the last time for us to be on this side of it, but we hope to come back again on the other side, sitting there with you, once again, shoulder to shoulder. So, I don't know, maybe Georgina, as people are still trying to get their thoughts together, what would you say were some of the takeaways from all of the work? You and I started off, you were in Salinas.
That's right.
I did not recruit you, but you ended up at the Department of Justice. What are some of the takeaways or things that you've learned over our time here and just our time together?
So, first of all, this is an incredibly touching and moving and impactful summit for me. As you said, we started in 2010. I did start as the site coordinator for the city of Salinas. Jose Arriola now holds that position and doing an amazing job, even better than I was, so I'll admit that. But 6 cities were called. Without money, we were just invited to come to the White House and say, are you committed? Are you willing to do something to change the future and the lives of our young people? 6 cities said, yes, let's go. We'll pay for our own travel. Can I have individuals from the original 6 cities to please stand and recognize you for
Boston,
the continued work that you've been
Chicago.
doing? You guys aren't even all standing because I'm seeing you. Thank you so much. I was thinking back last night about how different this summit was in 2010. Do you all remember? If not, let me tell you. It was in the 3rd floor ballroom of our OJP building in downtown DC. There was a lot of room to spare. No way did I think it was gonna be something so magnificent. This goes beyond my wildest dreams. So to be able to share this with so many more people and including more people, as Theron said, this isn't just work, this is family. Everything that we've gone through, we know we can count on each other. We've called each other through thick and thin. I know I've called Jen from Boston and said, what are you guys doing with data sharing? We need to learn a little bit more from that. I know we can call Long Beach. I know Long Beach has called Minneapolis. I know Memphis is in there. The fact that we can do that, that's incredible. Let's not lose sight of that. Let's not take that for granted. In fact, let's use it more. Yeah, Carol, thank you. Because this is unique and this is not stopping. This is not something that can be stopped. I know, as we always do after the summit, when we get back to our communities, we feel even more motivated. We feel more powerful, and we know we're not alone. And that's what we want to take. And that's something I've learned, Theron, that it's just continuous and will never stop.
Absolutely. You can see that we do this all the time. We're quite the show.
We have a routine.
We're taking this on the road if you don't know that by now.
Please come.
That will be our next job.
That's right.
But I think what we saw with the public awareness campaign, that was another thing that we learned from you all in terms of, again, the real need to communicate the message. And so even the title of our theme this morning is communicating the message. We realize that at the national level, we need to be in support and align with what you all are saying locally about the importance of understanding trauma, the importance of talking about the effects that exposure to violence has on young people, and to really push the science behind it, to let people know that this is really something that's real, but there's something that every adult can do in the life of a child. And so communicating that message was something that we knew we needed to also hold ourselves accountable at the federal level and to support your efforts to push out. You all had already been doing, a number of you have been doing public campaigns in your own communities. We borrowed heavily from that. That informed a lot of what we thought about. And we've learned a lot, personally and professionally. Departments and the agencies, I think, have changed. People have often said when they've gone out to visit and see the work on the ground, what you all are accomplishing, they've come back re-energized, ready to recommit, and make a bigger concerted effort to find ways to really support and not obstruct what it is you're trying to do. And I think that's huge. You know, federal agencies are big. There's a lot of bureaucracy. There's often a lot that goes into trying to move things up a chain of command to have a decision made. But I saw time and time again when leadership came out to visit you all shared so much with us that it then informed the policy-making decisions that we had back in D.C. And it's been incredible and remarkable. And I don't see an end to that. I only see a continuation as we push this campaign out, as we have more people sign on and support it. And so when we get ready to launch that later this year, we look to again reach back out to all of you to further figure out how best we can roll this out and amplify it across the country and truly change minds. And while we're changing minds, change hearts in the process. So that's some of our thoughts. What about for you all? Again, over the 2.5 days, a lot's been shared and said and discussed. There's been some really unique things that I've seen and heard. Would love to hear from you. I see somebody in the back standing there now. Go ahead. And share your name and where you're from, please.
I'm Jermaine McCory, Healing Hurt People, Philadelphia. There were some great approaches like movement therapy, turf dancing, some other things that stuck out to me. Using legal and housing services as a reentry strategy within a violence prevention strategy. And also members of the Department of Justice, you know, prosecutors' role in violence prevention. You know, I was pretty interested in that. But you know, as not to go off tangent about anything, but you know, I think if members of the Department of Justice is here, I think members of the hip hop community deserve to be here too, because they play a big role in, you know, soliciting violence, period. When we instill these principles and morals in our kids' minds, you know, after they leave us and they go back home and they put on a pair of headphones or turn on the TV, how is anything we told them relevant? You know, if we can bring to light the trauma that's actually in these rap lyrics, and you know, just inform individuals that what they're listening to, or you know, just trauma, you know, testimony of people's lives in impoverished neighborhoods and things. So I just wanted to speak on that.
No, appreciate that. Thank you. Other thoughts, comments? Just one quick reaction I would have to what you said is even with the public awareness campaign, we are trying to think about all those partners, traditional, non-traditional, those that even with My Brother's Keeper in the entertainment and the even with the athletics, I mean, we're thinking about who we can have partner with us to push out all these messages. So that is definitely something we're thinking about, and we've heard from many of you. So thank you for that.
Please don't be shy about sharing these type of ideas. It's not. We're not set to one box. Like we said, we need to think outside, we need to expand, we need to be innovative. So thank you for that. Much appreciated. And I know I see Jack Calhoun.
Oh, let's hear from Jack
And we
Calhoun.
love Jack Calhoun.
Well, you guys, I just have to say a couple of things. One is, Carol, what you've done and your team is not just started a program, and it's not partnerships, it's you've created a vital learning community. It is porous, it is open, and you guys never lose the faces of those you're serving. It's absolutely stunning. I've been a presidential appointee, but I have never seen the bureaucracy work like this, with precision, with program, with passion, with soul. And to you all, I've been in the field. I started off as a youth worker in Boston, and I've been a Fed. And I would say what you have done for the country, what you have done is absolutely stunning, not only for kids, your communities, but you have changed national policy. It's just unbelievable. You know, whether it's tax measures in Salinas or gun laws on replica guns in Boston, or changes in police academy training because of the whole trust issue, cities providing jobs for those who are returning from jail. It is absolutely extraordinary. Now, since I've got the mic, a little blunt, self-serving, I have a book called Policy Walking.
Policy walking.
Lighting
We got
paths
one.
to safer communities, stronger families, and thriving youth. And you know what? Many of your faces are in here. It's written to talk about what works, but also to inspire. It talks about leadership, what it takes to get the work done, and what keeps our feet under us. This is tough, tough, tough work. I'm not telling you guys anything, but what in this tough work, for what you have done, how many people at the end of the day can say, I've saved a child's life, I brought back a community, I've given this person hope. You can. You are gifts. Thank you for what you do and who you are. And it's Mahalia Jackson who said, keep your hand on the plow, and you've got blisters. You know this work, and you got blisters on your heart too, but keep your eye on the stars. You do that, you inspire us. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, Jack.
Have another comment in the back?
Yes, thank you very much. And I'm Tony Brand, USAID Honduras. We have several USAID partners here. And I don't know if you folks know what your events have meant to those visiting you internationally. We don't have a session on your stage. We don't have necessarily a part in your notebooks, but we take a lot back. Just from the 2013 conference to now, we've implemented, when we learned about it here, we've implemented PBIS in 200 schools in Tegucigalpa. You heard my friend Peter Bunting from Jamaica talk about what your community policing and prevention has meant to that country. And we have a large group from Honduras, Mexico, Colombia, some from Guatemala, and one gentleman who's going to say hello to you real quick, enjoyed dancing with you yesterday, Theron.
Yes, we all
I heard about that.
Theron's
Yeah, you
dancing.
I
did.
heard about that.
Well, that's
Might
all
be
Wasn't
on
right.
half
YouTube.
bad. Wasn't
That's
half
what
bad.
iPhones are for, dude. It's right here.
I know this video. I know it's going to pop up at some point.
It was great, and it's meant a lot to these folks. And Kelvin is in a situation with some gangs down there now, and he's up here trying to get away from that. And he learned a lot from Javier and Johnny yesterday. I just wanted Kelvin to say thank you to everybody, too.
Muchas gracias. Para mí es un verdadero placer estar aquí representando a mi amado país Honduras, a la juventud hondureña, a mi grupo Warrior Zulu Nation Honduras. Y es muy interesante siempre conocer otras experiencias de otros países. Honduras, al igual que Estados Unidos, tenemos las mismas necesidades. Y también, como hondureños, al igual que como los estadounidenses, tenemos esa necesidad, esa voluntad de cambiar la realidad que estamos viviendo. Y luchamos por ello. En mi caso, pues, a través de las artes del hip hop, del breaking, del rap, del graffiti. y también del arte de la fotografía, utilizando esto en uno de los contextos más difíciles del mundo, en la ciudad de San Pedro Sula.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you all, hip hop, now turf, rap, graffiti in San Pedro Sula, the group he leads, Warriors Honduras. He's taken a lot away from this meeting. I'm sure those of you who spoke Spanish got everything, but those of you who didn't speak Spanish, you should know it's from the heart, that he really appreciates everything you all shared with him, as do we all. And thank you, and we'll be back. Wherever it is next year, we'll be back. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. I think it reminds us that this community is much larger and broader, and we all have similar struggles. And regardless of language, there is a language, I think, that connects us all, and I think that's the hope that we can truly change, the hope that we can truly end this. And his passion was absolutely incredible at yesterday's session. I think we're all changed as a result of Johnny Lopez and Javier. I mean, I'm forever going to be a turf dancer, so.
Y quiero decirle muchas gracias por venir y por compartir sus historias y su valor. Gracias. And I just want to thank him for his bravery and for bringing the strategies and his energy. Thank you to all. Gracias.
Thank you. Thank you. Do we have another hand over here? It sounds like? Yes.
Buenas tardes, good afternoon, everybody. Well, good morning, maybe, I don't know what time it is. My name is Ricardo Calderon, and I'm the director for the Philadelphia Youth Commission under the mayor's office. First and foremost, an honor to be amongst every single one of you. The work that we're doing is incredible, so please give yourselves a round of applause. It's an incredible, incredible room that we're in. And I just want to thank everybody who organized this conference for having an intentional focus on making sure that this was an inclusive process. It's very easy to think about this as just a black issue or a black and white issue, and I think the fact that you made an intentional effort to make sure that we're covering all bases. As a Latino myself, I love the fact that we had Latino speakers up there. Our panels were very diverse. We have folks and friends from Argentina, from Colombia, there's Honduras. We have global folks representing this issue that we're all addressing together. And the fact that it's going to take all of us to increase these numbers and these opportunities for our young people is something that I'm truly honored to be a part of. And I also want to say, I love the essence of the idea of our youth not being the leaders of our future, but being our leaders presently in this moment. And I think, although we might have not verbalized that or put that into language, that's the feeling that we have in this room. And we have to really stay away from that mindset of them being our future. They are our present. They are our right now. And that's evident in our young people who led today and yesterday and the day before. So thank you all for this amazing conference. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. See a mic there, and then we'll move over to this side.
Good afternoon. My name is Angela Austin, One Love Global, and we're a tiny nonprofit organization that convenes My Brother's Keeper for Lansing, Michigan, and we're also the organizer of the MBK Michigan Alliance, which is bringing together 10 communities. The infusion of MBK and the deep dive into youth violence prevention is profound, but what I really wanted to lift up was the support, the love, and the centering of youth and their voice and their power. And I fell in love with Kelsey and with Wanye, and I want to take them home with me. And all of the youth that have had a voice here, I just really appreciate that. And I thank the White House for inviting me to this. It's my first, and unfortunately, it's the last. I would love to continue to have this conversation with the powerful people in this room.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chief.
So good afternoon, everyone.
Good
My name is
afternoon.
Kelly McMillan. I'm the chief of police in Salinas. And one of the folks that were blessed enough to be in the third floor ballroom on the first day, looking around thinking, what have we done? What have we gotten ourselves into? And Theron and I were talking yesterday. I came in a little bit late, and we were talking about lessons learned over the long term here. And three things stand out for me. And a lot we've heard a lot of these themes through the day, but they're worth saying again. The first thing is to know nobody's alone in this work. Sometimes it feels that way, and that's the value of being here and the value of the organization and the communities of practice. When you think you're alone and you don't have the answer, somebody's been through it before. I sat through the presentations by Denver and Syracuse yesterday, and every question, every issue that came up is something that we faced in Salinas. And if you don't know who to go to for the answer, take a dart out and throw it at the roster and call the person that you first hit.
Absolutely.
And 6 degrees of separation, they will find you an answer. It works that way. This community practice is so strong. Secondly, this work doesn't succeed without champions. You cannot make people, you cannot assign people to do this stuff. It has to be in their heart. You cannot, I as a chief can't pick a police officer out of a briefing room and say, you go be a community police officer. I have to find a guy like Raul Rosales, this young officer right here, who, if you walk around the Hebron neighborhood of Salinas with him, it's like walking around with the Pope. Mamas come out and kiss him, children want to touch him, because that's his heart, that's his community, and they love him there. Champions are critical, and lastly, none of this will succeed without executive leadership from the top, thorough commitment. It doesn't happen unless the organizations represented here, not just governmental, but the nonprofits and the community supports, it has to be led and it has to be championed. From the highest levels of the Justice Department through the couple of generals that we've had through Carol and Lori Robinson before, and Theron and Georgina, your leadership, and Thomas Apt, I wish he was here, and those who have come and gone through this.
Absolutely.
Leadership matters, folks.
Absolutely.
And if that leadership is not there, this work can't happen. So this is my last forum as well. I'm going to be moving on in my career. Well, I'm going to be retiring. That's moving on. And it's been my honor to know you and work with you all. And thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Chief.
Chief.
Thank you. So we want to get in some more questions and comments. One other thing we wanted to highlight and a takeaway from our time together, and it's going to take me a minute because the chief just spoke, so I'm starting to feel it. But we also wanted to show how research is going to continue to inform this work. And so, as many of you may have noticed on the agenda, we also had a research symposium that was running, and we thought it'd be helpful to have Kristen Crackey out of our Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention just share a little bit of what some of those folks were thinking about, because we've often said that, you know, this work has to be informed by evidence, has to be informed by the science, and we know that a lot of us have talked about this in terms of really struggling how best to measure, how to quantify and capture this great work and really identify whether or not we're having the impact that we intend. And so we know the research community is key for that. And so Kristen and folks on her team and under Bob's leadership really had the vision of making sure that we brought some of the key subject matter experts in research to be with us for this conversation. And that's just one more way I think we're going to continue to support and push this work. So Kristen, if you wanted to just share a few things that came out of the symposium, I think that might be helpful.
Thank you, Theron and Georgina.
Thanks,
Everybody
Kristen.
hear me all right? So one of the things that I take away myself, just having watched the Changing Minds video that we did, is that is such a powerful example of research turned into action. It is scaffolded and supported completely by what we've learned from the science, but has such a compelling, actionable takeaway and message for all of us. So I think it is an important illustration of some of the conversations that we began in the room a day and a half ago and hope to continue forward. Theron outlined some of the things we were talking about. They're complicated questions. There are no clear-cut answers, but there are a lot of really solid themes that came through that I have heard echoed here in the room today and on the first day with you all. So I think that the synergy between what was happening in our room and what was happening here in this room are significant for me, and I'll highlight a couple of those. One of them, and I should say it was about 24 researchers from across the country who were all some of the most prominent youth violence prevention researchers in our country. We did focus on looking the last 5 to 10 years, what we've learned, what we know now, and then really focused a lot on where we go next in research to really direct and guide and support this work and be able to give you all the evidence we need to create these actionable messages and to support the actions that you all are implementing in your community. So very much like your local communities, this group of researchers came from a diverse and multidisciplinary perspective. And one of the key themes that echoed for me was the one of hope and hopeful future. The first and most important thing that everybody in the room identified is that violence is preventable. We've documented it now. We have the evidence that violence is preventable. It's not just anecdotal, we know, and we can say it's preventable. We've also learned a great deal about adolescent development, individual risk and protective factors, and effective interventions that can strengthen this collective response. So that would be the second thing, is the importance of this collective impact that I know was a theme for you all as well. And what was interesting with this multidisciplinary group of researchers is that they echoed the same important things about collaboration in the field, in the communities, working together across discipline, law enforcement, public health, mental health, schools, that's really where the research is showing that practice needs to continue to go, and that research needs to get smarter about how to capture that collective efficacy. So part of what they talked about is that they also need to team and build collective response, or be able to collectively measure the work, and that they need to come across their own disciplines and figuring out how to do that. So, there's a lot of discussion about measures and a lot of researchy kind of conversation, but a recognition that we all from different disciplines bring a different perspective, and together we are better. So again, another theme. So in terms of looking forward, a lot of the key issues that they identified that we really need to be the next iteration of this work is getting beyond the question about what works. We need to know more than just what works. We need to know why, for whom, where, and when. And we really need to figure out how to measure this collective impact. Lastly, I would share with you that one of the things they wanted me to make sure that I shared to you is that they very much see you as community members and partners, community members and youth as invested partners in this work, that in the research process. They very much appreciate the work that you do on the ground every day in preventing and tackling the problems of violence in the community. They also very much appreciate your partnership in the research process. They know that it is not exciting, it's not your first priority to document things, to keep records, but that process is very, very valuable in this research to practice partnership, and they wanted to acknowledge that they very much appreciate it, and for me to say thank you for that. And so that they can continue to grow this research practice partnership. They very much see themselves as part of that partnership. They're very much committed to the movement of youth violence prevention, and we look forward to continuing that partnership in the next 10 years. Thank you.
Thanks, Kristen. And
Thank you.
round of applause. Kristen did an amazing job, along with
Thank you.
Ben and a number of other wonderful people. And Kristen, this was especially important because I know since the beginning of the summit, we always talked about the need for data, evaluation, research. That has been a common theme throughout. So having this and then sharing such information was invaluable. Thank you. I think, Theron, we have time for one or two?
I think we have time for one or two more, yes. I think I see somebody by the light.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will translate Minister Macei.
Yes.
He's the Minister of Government and Security of the province of Córdoba in Argentina. He wants to share a few words with you. We came from far away, and we come back being closer with all of you. Closer because we could confirm that the Integral Crime Prevention and Citizen Security Plan that we are working on in Córdoba is in the right path, and you have helped us to confirm that path. So thank you very much all. During these workshops and talks, I have thought and developed several ideas. I come back full of ideas, full of new knowledges, and I really appreciate that. Thank you again. I come back more creative, more empowered by all of your experiences. Governor of Córdoba, Juan Schiaretti, thanks all of you to the team who organized this event, this forum, for all the job that you have done. And we appreciate to the Department of Justice and to the World Bank, which has invited us to come, for this experience. It has been really rich for us. Córdoba is going to be, it's already been a new lighthouse in the region and in Argentina with these new experiences. We are developing several strategies in crime prevention in general, and in particular with young violence prevention. Thank you, all of us, for your experiences that have enlightened us with a lot of with your powerful examples. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Y
Thank you
gracias-
very much.
Gracias a usted por venir desde Argentina a esta conferencia tan importante. Le damos las gracias.
I just want to thank all of you, but most importantly, thank President Obama. So much of this has happened under his watch and in his legacy. Keep it moving. Don't let us go backwards. Thank you, President Obama.
Yes?
Yes, hi. Equal Justice USA. I want to echo everyone's gratitude and just name, you said this earlier, Theron, but this is a movement. This is a movement to really change the face of what we understand about violence, those who survive it, and the communities that hold these experiences. And I just want to echo all the ways in which local programs have changed systems and will continue to change systems, and to support us continuing to think about how we codify these incredible heart, I heard you say heart, Chief, this heart of a movement in local cities but across the country. So just thank you for inspiring this movement, and I look forward to working with everybody moving forward to see what's next in the movement.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you all. Thank you. So I want to say that I know someone when we printed out the agenda, I didn't notice a time that we were going to adjourn. That was not a political strategy to keep you here all day, though I do realize that when this summit ends, I again feel that much closer to the end of our time in office, and sad about that, but we do not want to drag this out. We want to get you out of here before 1. We wanted to just offer just some closing remarks and thoughts, and just express our thanks. Mothers in Charge handed me this amazing book that shows images of mothers who've lost sons and daughters. And just to open that book and see the accounting of the loss and the pain of these mothers, to me was kind of represents so much of what we've all been about since the time we've gathered back in 2010. That pain and that grief and that trauma and that exposure to violence was so painful that we all came together with a shared purpose that we wanted to find a way to end it, that we were really committed this time, that we wanted to do something comprehensive. We knew no one system or organization or agency could solve this problem, but somehow we thought together we could. And it is in partnership and it is in collaboration where we supported one another, shared ideas, and pushed forward some of the best practices and promising approaches that we could identify. And it's remarkable to see that together we have been moving the needle. When we first announced the statistics out of the CDC about the number of youth that die each day, it was as high as 16 a day. We're still not where we need to be, but the fact that we're now saying 13 a day means that every day, at least across this country, there are 3 more that don't endure that pain. There are 3 more mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters who don't grieve and suffer that loss. But still, 13 is far too high. But somehow I love to believe that together, what we've done and what we've accomplished, what we've talked about and what we've shared with our friends online and pushed out through social media, that the word is getting out. That violence, youth violence, is not inevitable, but somehow is preventable. And I stand here with a colleague that I love dearly, but I only met through this work. I only met because I went to Salinas, because Salinas made a commitment to sign on to this initiative, along with Boston and Memphis and Detroit and Chicago, and it just continued to grow and grow to where we have 15 now plus communities that have been under this umbrella of the National Forum. We have our Defending Childhood sites that made a similar commitment to address children's exposure to violence, and we got to know you, and we got to really become more and more not just colleagues but friends. Right. And it is, like I said, it's bittersweet, but it's sweet to know that what we started the commitment that we've all collectively made is in fact impacting our country, that we should celebrate that. Even though those are still small incremental steps that we're taking and we still want to see more, we should definitely pause and celebrate what we've been able to achieve thus far. And as I look out and I see the leadership, both at the federal and local level, chiefs, mayors, ministers, pastors, reverends, as we see our colleagues across the agencies, just to know that we have a shared purpose, that we are all tired of the violence, and we know that that has such a huge impact on our young people, that we were just so committed to see an end to it. And so I think this work is definitely going to continue. We're going to continue to learn more from you. We're going to continue to have this conversation. No matter what we do, we plan to stay connected and involved in this work.
You can't get rid of us, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because Carol had already made a proclamation, didn't she? She already said that.
She did.
I think she said that we were going to have to do this for the rest of our lives.
Okay.
So if Carol says it, trust
It's
me,
done.
and working with her, we know that that's the case.
That's right.
And so I just wanted to offer my personal thanks. I've been honored. I've been humbled. I had to have Georgina stand here with me because I felt like I was going to topple over just to get those words out, because it's been such a special honor. It's just been an incredible, you all are an incredible group of people. And for those even viewing online, I hope some of our folks who had to leave and catch flights so you get a chance to hear this, to just know how it's changed us. It's changed the way in which we want to work. It's made us feel like what we do really does matter, because when we partner with you and we go out to hear what you're doing in your communities, it is so encouraging to know that even though these complicated problems are so large and so big, we are still bigger than our problems.
That's right.
That our solutions together can still win this fight. And I think we feel that every time we're with you. And so that has definitely changed us. It has definitely changed the way in which I know at the agencies going forward. It just needs to be the way that we do business in supporting this type of collaboration. So thank you for what you have done, what you will do, what you continue to do. And as the chief had said, use that participant list. Throw a dart at it, use that network, call people, ask questions, and continue to call up Jeroma, Cheryl Jones, Kristen Crackey, our federal partners at the other agencies. Check in with them because they're here. There's such a care and a level of commitment to this. This is not going away. So use that participant list, build this network, push out the promising approaches that you're all using. And again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for my leadership that has given us the opportunity to lead this, for Carol Mason, Beth McGarry, who trusted me enough sometimes to get up on stage and speak on behalf of the office, knowing that I could go off on a tangent. Thank you. And for all of you who trusted us with this initiative and committed to work with us. Again, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank all of you. And safe trip back, and we'll talk to you again soon.
This is not the end.
Not
this
the
is
end.
not the end. Thank you so much. You are a continued and contagious source of inspiration and motivation. Safe trips. We love you all. Thank you very much. Jeroma, Bob, Carol, everybody over there, and everybody over there. We love you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.